Hi, how are you doing today? This is Kim Reads Urantia. You know it. And first, Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. Okay, so today's April 24th. We've got Friedrich Nietzsche, once again infamous for saying that God is dead. Okay, and we have killed him, or something like that, which is a shocking phrase. And it's really unfortunate that this really beautiful man who had so much to contribute to thought is just like canceled out because of this one thing he said. And surely he didn't have uh, he wasn't perfect in his theology. There's some things I agree with and some things I disagree with, but that's no reason to cast out all of the volumes of very inspirational thought that he contributed to philosophy. And I think in most ways he was a very spiritual person. He wanted us, and it's all in the expression. He really wanted to inspire people to live their highest self, their best self. And here's Nietzsche today. May all my days be holy to me. This is what joyous wisdom is, always praying in me. May all my days be holy to me. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. So, I find myself always on the point of defending Nietzsche, probably against my own imagined people attacking him. I've heard, no, he was marvelous in so many ways, and I think that when he said God is dead, maybe he meant that, let's stop thinking about God as an external being that's lording something over us, that's finding fault with us, and think of the God in ourselves. And that's one of the most glorious messages of the Urantia book, is to focus inward on our own God fragment, our thought adjuster, our mystery monitor, and appreciate that and feel that and connect with the God within us and let that carry us. So that's really what he tried to do, I feel. Anyway, okay, we're on part 6 of the first paper today. Personality in the universe. Okay, human personality is the time-space image shadow cast by the divine creator personality, and no actuality can ever be adequately comprehended by an examination of its shadow. Wow, so my personality is a shadow cast by the personality of the creator. Okay. Shadows should be interpreted in terms of the true substance. So I couldn't exist without the personality of the creator. My personality wouldn't exist, but its pattern is part of that kind of, but yeah. So I'm thinking again of the higher dimensional reality of the creator that casts a shadow on a two-dimensional surface. So again, we're two-dimensional, and God is from this higher dimension, like a three-dimensional being. Okay, so in our challenge is to come out of the two dimensions. Okay, well that's just a um, that's just a metaphorical kind of thing. But okay, I'm going to keep reading. God is to science a cause, to philosophy an idea, to religion a person, even the loving Heavenly Father. God is to the scientist a primal force, to the philosopher a hypothesis of unity, to the religionist a living spiritual experience. Man's inadequate concept of the personality of the Universal Father can be improved only by man's spiritual progress in the universe, and will become truly adequate only when the pilgrims of time and space finally attain the divine embrace of the living God on paradise. Never lose sight of the antipodal viewpoints of personality as it is conceived by God and man. Okay, so antipodal viewpoints. So God looking at man and man looking at God is what I'm thinking. Man views and comprehends personality looking from the finite to the infinite. God looks from the infinite to the finite. Man possesses the lowest type of personality, God the highest, even supreme, ultimate, and absolute. The number one, remember? Yep. Therefore, did the better concepts of the divine personality have patiently to await the appearance of improved ideas of human personality. Okay, especially the enhanced revelation of both human and divine personality in the Urantian bestowal life of Michael, the creator son. Okay, so God had to wait to be understood until we could evolve higher ideas of what it means to be a person, what it means to have personality. Remember, personality in the Urantia book is more like our own individual nature. It's not really like the external relatability kind of concept that I've found in that's present in astrology. In psychology, I think of personality. When we study personality, it's kind of like the composite of how Freud is thinking of personality as the composite relationship of the id, the ego, and the superego, you know. But in both cases, it's a more superficial kind of concept than this is really a foundational kind of concept, like an individual fingerprint, like the basis of who you are. And I think personality doesn't emerge until we're able to recognize ourselves, till we're able to see ourselves and see that I'm separate from other things in this way. In the way I'm all one with everything. But as I regard myself, when I do that, I'm setting definite limits upon what is me and what's not me. And I think that pattern is inherent in personality, I think. Okay. So the Urantian bestowal life of Michael. Okay, so the personality of Michael. I think how would that be? So we can regard ourselves, but Michael could see, because he always was with God. He was constantly in God's presence, so he could also see himself as God saw him. See, he always thought of himself as being seen by God. So that's a kind of a triangular kind of relationship. You see yourself, you see God, and you see God seeing you, seeing yourself. Okay, that's getting too far. Let's keep going. The pre-personal divine spirit, which indwells the mortal mind, carries in its very presence the valid proof of its actual existence. But the concept of the divine personality can be grasped only by the spiritual insight of genuine personal religious experience. Any person, human or divine, may be known and comprehended quite apart from the external reactions or the material presence of that person. Okay, so we can be known, a person can be known apart from like what I do. What I do is different than what I am. And I have a body that's my material presence, right? So that's different than that's something I have. That's not what I am. What I do is not what I am. What I am is what I am. Even though I think we're here in the physical, our best way of understanding another person is by watching what they do, by watching their actions or their inactions. That's our best bet, just because we're grounded in this physical reality. But once we're liberated from this, we'll be able to know each other on another level. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Some degree of mortal affinity and spiritual harmony is essential to friendship between two persons. A loving personality can hardly reveal himself to a loveless person. They don't know you. You can't. I always want to reach them, but they can't. Even to approach the knowing of a divine personality, all of man's personality endowments must be wholly consecrated to the effort. Half-hearted partial devotion will be unavailing. So you can't have half-hearted devotion. Guilty right there. Yep. I'll worship God when it's convenient for me. To feel God's presence all the time, or to just acknowledge God's presence all the time throughout my day. That's kind of one of my new goals. Okay. The more completely man understands himself and appreciates the personality values of his fellows, the more he will crave to know the original personality, and the more earnestly such a God-knowing human will strive to become like the original personality. You can argue over opinions about God, but experience with him and in him exists above and beyond all human controversy and mere intellectual logic. The God-knowing man describes his spiritual experiences not to convince unbelievers, but for the edification and mutual satisfaction of believers. Right. Okay. Don't do it for the non-believers. Okay. If they change, it's up to them. I can't do anything about that. Okay. To assume that the universe can be known, that it is intelligible, is to assume that the universe is mind made and personality managed. Man's mind can only perceive the mind phenomena of other minds, be they human or superhuman. If man's personality can experience the universe, there is a divine mind and an actual personality somewhere concealed in that universe. God is spirit personality. Man is also a spirit, potential spirit personality. Jesus of Nazareth attained the full realization of this potential of spirit personality in human experience. Therefore, his life of achieving the Father's will becomes man's most real and ideal revelation of the personality of God. Jesus of Nazareth, his life is the most real revelation. See, and I'm just coming into that because I didn't have a appreciation of Jesus before I found this book. So, okay, even though the personality of the universal Father can be grasped only in actual religious experience, in Jesus' earth life, we are inspired by the perfect demonstration of such a realization and revelation of the personality of God in a truly human experience. Right, because he came and was one of us. He came and he wanted to be one of us. That's really meaningful to me. You know, yeah. I used to think of Jesus as coming down, and it's like God says, Jesus, you have to go down and save humanity. Oh, those darn humans, they're up to no good again, right? It's like, yes, but it's our duty. We have to go down and save them. All right, I'll do it. So he goes down. It's like, oh, humans, you poor humans. Guess they got to die on the cross for you. You know, look at all you put me through. Yeah. So I used to think Jesus like that, you know. But that's not what it was. Jesus wanted to come down here and know us. He did that on purpose. He even stayed longer than he needed to in order to get his sovereignty. He wanted to know, he wanted to show us as much of himself and of the Father. He wanted to show us as much of the Father as he possibly could before he left this world. And that's why he died on the cross. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Have a really great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.